Welcome to Granny Shift, and I'm Ryan,
And I'm Jason.
and this is minute 44 of Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious.
So you were wrong, but
Yeah.
less wrong than I was. So you still won the guess. So
Yes.
the race did end this minute,
Right.
but some silly things happened here.
Yeah. So, honestly, the race didn't finish until almost 45 seconds after the minute started.
Right. So remember, we had at the speed they're going. If they didn't accelerate any more at 110 miles per hour, it should have taken them about 8 seconds to finish.
Right. And I guessed 43:12, and I was wrong.
That can't be right. I'm wrong. It's way less than 8 seconds to finish. At 60 miles an hour,
That's a mile a minute.
you go a mile in a minute. So a quarter mile you would do in 15 seconds.
Yeah, so
So at 120, you would do in 7.5.
But that's if you don't accelerate. That's staying at 120.
But then why does a car starting at 0, accelerating to 120, take about 13 seconds for a quarter mile? Okay.
So if you're saying they go from 0 to 120, and it takes double the amount of time, that makes sense. The average speed is 60.
I'm pulling up ChatGPT because they know everything.
Only from 2021 and later. I mean, earlier.
Log in. Need to log into this?
Man.
Okay. What was the question? How long does it take to go a quarter mile
At 120 miles per hour.
Okay, here we go. I gotta enter this code that's coming. All right, logged in. Chat. This is like our new Jamie, you know, like Joe Rogan. He's gonna do everything for us. Birthday. I gotta put my birthday in.
All right. While you do that, let me do this.
Word. All right. What are you
Worcestershire sauce.
doing?
Worcestershire.
That's from last minute, man.
I was keeping everybody in suspense.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Verify your phone number.
Worcestershire.
I don't remember my phone number.
Worcestershire.
77
47
8 4.
Don't say it on here.
I think that's right. They just sent me a code. How do I have to?
I thought it was just a random website. ChatGPT.
Yeah, I wasn't logged in. So they make you log in. They don't want kids using all this. Getting too smart or something.
Oh, there's available in the app store.
All right. How long does it take to go a quarter mile distance when you are going 110 miles per hour? We're off to a good start on this minute.
Boom.
Time equals distance divided by speed. Oh, they give us a lot of detail. Convert to seconds. There's 8.18 seconds. Man, that was pretty close.
You were very close.
All right, so 8 seconds. But we had that moment again here where they are like, oh, I'm going to accelerate, and they floor it and take off. Okay?
Yeah.
So they're traveling along
neck and neck.
And they're right next to each other. Look over, and then Brian downshifts and floors it, which is just stupid. Oh, now they're going.
He's 80 miles per hour.
Yeah, and he has
battery voltage is 13. That's kind of high.
9 inch per psi. Inches per psi. That's weird. So 4.3 pounds of boost.
Is that what that's measuring? That's manifold absolute pressure?
Yeah, it's his intake manifold. Absolute pressure. And then Dom hits his nitrous. So Brian was slowly pulling away.
Right. Do you think that he could downshift and then start to go pull away?
Yeah. If he was in too high of a gear.
All right, and then Dom uses his NOS
and practically does a
30?
wheelie, but he didn't do a wheelie yet. Yeah, why
boost?
Your boost should not go up. If you're full throttle, your boost should be at full boost moments after your full throttle, unless you're really low RPM.
Do you have a supercharger? Turbocharger?
Same thing though. It should, as long as your RPMs are up. I don't think he might have a supercharger, but nitrous shouldn't change your boost.
Yeah.
What it does, it pegs his boost gauge,
Yeah.
and he takes off. And Brian smiles because he says, "Too early, Dom."
Do you think Dom knew he was too early?
No.
Like, he was like, so as soon as this happened, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember what happens here. I was like, this is dirty.
All right, a couple
So,
things about this, though.
so just so you know, we're at 43-34.
Race is still going.
Yeah, the race is still going.
All right, couple things. Brian doesn't have a clue how much nitrous Dom has in his car.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe he's got 2 big bottles, and it's going to last the rest of the race. So
Right.
it wasn't too early.
Yeah.
Also, I don't care how, if you're already full throttle on the straightaway, the sooner you can put your nitrous down and your tires not be spinning, this would be the caveat to this. As long as your tires aren't spinning, the sooner you can use your nitrous, the better. Because the sooner you're going faster,
Right.
the farther you're going to be. You don't,
Right.
once your nitrous run out, go back to your old speed.
Right.
You continue at that speed and then slowly climb, but you still get to use that speed to be pulling. So whoever's going faster first is going to be pulling away, and that amount of time they pull away needs to be made up by the other person
Right.
by going even faster. So if you wait, like the sooner you use it, the better. Unless
Like
you
they're
spin your tires with it.
They're acting like it's
Once
Need
it
for
runs
Speed,
out,
right?
yeah,
You automatically go back to 80 miles per hour.
yeah, right,
Yeah. But really, you should keep going at that speed,
right,
right?
yeah. Or you're gonna. I mean, it's possible you have a really high gear and your car doesn't have enough power to
Right.
pull it.
Yeah.
Normally, though, you use nitrous to help you accelerate faster, not to take you to a speed that your car's not even capable of driving at.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you don't want to like go from 6,000 RPMs to 9,000
Right.
if your car can only go 7,000.
Right.
If your engine can only handle
That's
7,000.
not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's what happens in Need for Speed.
Yeah. All right. So Brian he's like about to fly by Dom, honestly.
And he's smiling.
He's almost a full car length past him. Man, that
Brian,
car's beat up. Look at those lines.
Oh my word, yeah, it is. Fiberglass all ripped up in the bumper. And Dom is like watching this happen and just he's not gonna let it happen.
He has become the
Villain.
BMW driver.
Oh, yeah.
What did they call him? Ghetto Smurf.
I called him
Ghetto Smurf.
Oh, that's what they called him.
Yeah.
And I called him the what was the rapper in the first movie?
Ja Rule?
No, I guess the second movie.
Ludacris?
Oh yeah, I said he was the Ludacris of this.
Oh. No, he's definitely the Ja Rule, where he's only in for one race, right?
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so Dom smacks Brian's left quarter panel.
Breaks his spoiler somehow.
And that was already broken.
That was from something else.
Spins Brian the whole way around, and Dom just keeps on going.
Twice. Brian spun around twice there. 2 360s. Now Brian's like, ugh. Drops the S word. Oh, and then he calls him the B word.
Yeah. He's flying by him. Oh, he really does just nudge him.
They call that the pit maneuver.
Yeah.
So pit maneuvers the police officer. You should have seen that coming.
And Dom says, still a buster.
Right, and he's pretty pleased with himself.
Yeah. What do you mean, still a buster? You're the one that's acting
What is even
stupid.
a buster?
Let's Urban Dictionary that one.
I'll ChatGPT this one.
All right. We're going to use Urban Dictionary versus ChatGPT. And let's see. I mean, I feel like I have my own, but it might not be right. Urban Dictionary buster.
I don't know how to phrase this, but
someone
it
who
shouldn't matter.
Can't hang or is just acting like a little punk biznitch.
This is so nice.
Man, why are you scared? You acting like a little buster right now.
Holy smokes.
Someone who does not keep it real, a poser, someone who rats out your friends.
Dang. This is crazy. All right, so I was worried. So ChatGPT is just going here. So I was worried, like, I wouldn't word it right and they wouldn't understand what I'm asking.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know if this was worded well, because I said, what does a buster mean from Fast and Furious?
Okay.
Because I want to say, what is a buster, and then be like, oh, it's Brian O'Connor, right? Like, no, what does it mean? In the context of the Fast and Furious franchise, buster is a slang term that is often used to refer to someone who is inexperienced or incompetent. In the first film of the franchise, The Fast and Furious, 2001, the character Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, uses the term to describe Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker, He was a rookie cop infiltrating the blah 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 blah. All right. Brian, he sees
the
him
whole
as a
plot of the
buster,
movie.
as someone who doesn't know anything about cars or the culture of street racing. Over time, however, Brian proves himself to be a skilled driver and earns the respect of Dom and the other racers. By the end of the first film, Dom no longer considers Brian to be a buster and accepts him as a member of his crew. The term buster has since become somewhat of a catchphrase in the Fast and Furious franchise and is sometimes used by characters to refer to someone who they perceive as being inexperienced or naive.
Yeah, so Dom's got this smile on his face as he calls Brian a buster.
Saying he's
Because he was a
inexperienced or
buster
naive.
from the first movie, and now he's still a buster, even though Dom's the one.
Like he should have known he was going to get pit maneuvered.
Right. But like,
So Dom's not the buster. Dom's just the dick.
if in the first race that him
Yeah.
and Brian raced, if Brian would have done that to Dom, that would have been the end of their relationship.
Oh yeah.
But now that Dom does it, Dom's such a skilled driver that he can
Brian
wreck somebody
Dom
else.
said he will take out anyone in his way. Right? He told Brian that. We're like, whoa.
That's true.
So he did it. All right. So,
man, this drink just gets like thick as we go down here.
Yeah. The tomatoes are settling. We're almost done with them though.
So I'm waiting for Dom to actually cross the line. Here he goes.
And right there. It is 51 seconds into minute 43. Yeah. So
and then we get this Cruise in America.
On the
cruise
GPS screen.
Wild Cruise in USA.
We get the finish on the GPS screen, and we get the girl with the checker flag mini skirt waving her flags around because Dom finished.
And like idiots, the people are waiting right at the finish line.
Crossing the road.
Yeah.
Across the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dom pulls a Brian from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
Where he
slides
like
up.
This exact thing is what Brian did in Too Fast, Too Furious. And there's a crew.
Oh, yeah.
There's the golfer guy, the mean guy, and the pretty lady.
Yep, the J-Lo.
The one that likes Dom. Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens to Brian now. Because he's got to be in the movie. So, and Dom's Charger's beat up. You see the side. And
went 1 second too far. But it pretty much ends with Dom right there. Brian just crossed the line way after Dom.
But he didn't win.
He did not win.
Dom won.
Yep.
And that's that.
That is that. So
that'll be that until next Monday.
How will Brian come back into the movie?
He
said he
sure
works
you
for the
remember.
FBI.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Maybe they saw what Dom did and they were like, I don't like that. He's not the better driver. He's the.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
No. I'll just watch the movie.
All right.
Don't tell me stuff. What's the point of watching it if you can just tell me the end?
Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
winning's winning.